Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I have another process video and it's using the February Kit Club block party, and I have all 4 add-ons and I'm just showing you some of the stuff that I may be using, and most of it is from the block party or the digital kit. I did grab some stuff from the January kit just because I want to make sure that I use my kits to the fullest. So these are some of the papers that I had kind of put together. If you go back a few videos ago, I call it my process when I start a new kit, and these were some of the papers that I had kind of set together, and then I always add extra ones with it to kind of complete the layout I want to do. So I'm going to start off with that blue paper, and it's from Teresa Collins, and the red one I believe is from Studio Calico. It's one of my favorite papers in this collection. It's embossed and it's all like little hexagons that are embossed, and it has a different texture, and it's red and pink, and that's one of my favorite combination of colors. And then I'm going to take that other paper, and I believe it's from Teresa Collins too, with all the flowers and wood grain background. So I decide to make sort of a line to the left to kind of ground the paper. And then I decide to use that grid paper. I believe it's from October Afternoon for my journaling. And the wood veneer, the words, they were in a kit that we got this month. I really like them. I like to use them as part of my titles. So that's what I'm going to do this time too. At first I think I'm going to use, because I said it in my last video that I'm going to start using my ribbon, and I tried to make it work here, but it just didn't work. So I'm going to end up taking it off in a little bit. I leave it there for a while just to see if it's going to grow on me, and it kind of doesn't. So I'm just kind of looking at what else I could possibly excuse me, put on this page. I didn't find we got a lot of things to layer this month, like for the month of February. I mean, the kit was full, but some months we get more layering stuff than others. So this month it wasn't a lot, so I'm gonna, I believe, end up going into my stash to kind of supplement. And then you saw while the camera was off, I want to use that New York City landscape stamp and kind of make a border, but I didn't know how it would stamp on that paper because it's kind of textured. So I kind of did a test run under where I knew it was going to be covered up. And then I'm going to use that arrow stamp also that came in the kit, and I'm going to use some Hero Arts ink. The first one was Cup of Joe, the second one was Red Royal, and I kind of outline my journaling block. Now I'm going to be looking through a lot of my washi tape stash, and none of the ones I had chosen at the beginning actually worked. I didn't like the colors, and I'm thinking about that craft washi tape, and then I decided against. I really like that camera one, but everything else on the page was brown tone, so I didn't want to go black tone. So then I decide on this KI Memory washi tape, and I really like it because it has all the colors that are in the page, plus it has little cameras. Every third block or so there's a little camera. So I really like that. So I'm going to end up putting that washi tape in a few places. So I'm going to put the other red strip to the bottom of that photo cluster because I want to put one on the top and one on the bottom. And then that paper that looks like it was written, that was on the basic gray cutout sheet, and I just wanted something again for layering, so I just cut that up and put a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom. And I'm going to try and make those tab work again, and I just can't get it to work. So hopefully in the next few layouts, I'm going to keep taking them out because I really like them. Hopefully I can find a way to use them. So at this point, I had to work a night shift last night. Today's the 22nd, I believe, or the 21st. So I had to work last night, the 20th. So this was just before I left for work. I kind of worked on it for half an hour. And then when I got home this morning at 6:30 or 7, I was too wound up. Like I just couldn't go to sleep right away. So I thought, well, I'll just work on the layout and until I feel really tired, and then I'll go to bed. So I end up finishing the layout. So this was after a 12-hour day shift or night shift. And but I found scrapbooking really relaxing. So it actually kind of relaxed me after, a long rough night. And then when I came to bed, I just closed my eyes and poof, I was off to sleep. So that was good. And so here I used an Ormolu stamp. It says it was the best of times. So I just stamped it on that blue grid paper and I stuck it to the bottom of the page with more of that KI memory. And we had some Teresa Collin buttons that we got. So I just kind of used those up instead of my own stash because I figured I want to use what came in the kit. Excuse me. So then these are thickers that we got last month, and I wanted to make my own colors. So I used that Red Royal from Hero Arts, and I colored my letters. And then I'm going to use the October afternoon mini markets that we got maybe 3 months ago. I absolutely love them. They're that pink tone. I actually went and bought a second package because I'm almost out. I think with this, I end up using the last N. So, and at this point, I decide that I want more. Like I said, we didn't get many layering stuff or stuff to add to the page. Like last month, we had those hearts and those stars, the chipboards. This month, we didn't have too much of that. So I think I'm going to have to make my own embellishments. So I ended up using that same ink that I was using, the Cup of Joe and the Red Royal. I just kind of smooshed it on some vanilla cardstock, and then I punched out some butterflies. So I'm going to put some at every cluster. And then I'm going to start gluing my title down. And at first I was a little bit below, and I found like I was leaving a little bit of trapped white space. So I ended up making it so that it was even with the washi tape so that I didn't leave any trapped white space. So I'm putting a little bit of foam tape in behind the bigger butterflies' wings just so that they look like they're in flight. So I'm just going to do that to, like I said, to the bigger butterflies. And then I'm going to end up cutting or punching, I believe I punch out a little bit more of butterflies just to make sure that they're good, an even amount of numbers of butterflies. So this is where I noticed I was going to put NYC because it says love, and then I was going to put NYC in the pink, and I ran out of ends. And then I thought, well, maybe I can just change the font. So then I start looking through my alphabets, my tiny ones, and I find that brown one from Studio Calico, and I thought, well, I'll keep it in the brown because all the buildings are stamped in brown. So I ended up using that instead. So I'm just gonna, they were kind of crooked on the page, so I just kind of straightened that out. And then I found those, I believe they're My Mind's Eye little stickers, and I'm going to use those. I thought of maybe using that Amy Tangerine heart, but the pink was too different. And this, what I'm putting on the pictures right now, it's actually a little joke that we had during the trip. This is a girl that I work with, and we're friends, and our families didn't know each other, and we decided that we were going to go on a trip, the two families. So we ended up going on a trip, and then my daughter's in the picture with her, and we called her, my daughter, the perfect girl. And then my friend, we just said that she was crazy. So, I mean, those words were in those letter stickers, so I thought it was perfect. So I did put those stickers on the photos. And then again, I'm going to use some twine just to add movement, because I love that on my pages. And especially if there's butterflies or little birds or anything like that, I do love adding those. And then I'm going to put some holes in my button, and I'm going to sew it on. And then I always try to put washi tape in behind because I'm afraid it's going to come off. And then when I flipped the page over, my whole title came off. So obviously the thickers, maybe it's because I colored them, they weren't very sticky. So I just ended up using my own quick dry adhesive and added some more glue. And then I'm going to do my journaling. And this was our last day in New York, so I just kind of outlined what we did for a whole day. It was our last day, and it was our favorite day. We had so much fun. We did so much things. Not that the other day wasn't fun, but I think maybe because we knew it was our last day in New York, we just truly enjoyed our day and had a blast. And then we finished our day at Carlo's Bakery, and had bought over, like, between the two families, like $200 in pastries. So yeah, we really enjoyed our next few meals that we could have desserts. And while we were waiting for the train, we kind of filled our belly with pastries too. So at this point, I just used I think it was First Kiss from Studio Calico, and a couple of my Glimmer Glaze, 3 different colors, a brown and 2 different pinks. And then I thought my title was kind of blending in at this point. So I went to get my glaze and from Ranger, and I end up putting glaze on all the letters, and on at this point I only put on a few of the butterflies, but if you look at the still pictures at the end of the video, I've put glaze on all the butterflies because I found like they were getting lost, the other ones, so I do end up putting some on all the butterflies. And I found, like, right now you can't really see, because obviously when you put the glaze at first, it's kind of opaque and it's really, you can't see through it. But once it dries, we all know that it becomes clear and it almost looks like an epoxy finish. So it turned out really cute, and I really liked it. Now this layout, this was the longest layout that it took me. It took me 1 hour and 58 minutes. This is the longest time that it took me to do a layout, and I don't know if it's because I was doing it in between shifts and all that, but I got it done. So this is layout 4 out of 50, and here are some still pictures. So thanks for watching. Bye.